Yo guys, Otaku Ops here. How's it going? So last time we played King's Bounty, the 1990 DOS version, and I distinguished myself by losing the game within the first 15 days, okay, which is really embarrassing. So today we're gonna try again. And so I actually checked out the differences between the characters, and it seems to me, from what I understand, it's that the knight starts out with the least amount of money, which is not good at the start of the game, okay? You actually need the most money you can get. Obviously, yeah, the sorceress starts out with the spell enabled, which, again, remember, you need to pay 5,000 if you pick that route. But she already has it for free, which, again, is good, because you don't need to spend that money. The Barbarian, I don't know. I don't really understand the point of the Barbarian, but his initial army is very weak. He just gets wolves. That's it. Just one unit of wolves. So if you go and explore, I guess that's good because you can even do that with just one peasant, right? I mean, you could just use one peasant and just go explore the map. That's fine. You'll make a lot of money actually in the meantime while you explore. But it seems to me that the best character is probably the Paladin. So we're going to go with the Paladin. He's going to be Otaku as well. We're going to do easy. And this question here is just asks me if I want to destroy my previous save game, which yes, I don't need it at all. Okay. All right, so when you start the game here now, you'll notice that the money is higher than the knight. Okay, with the knight, we didn't have 10,000, but with the Paladin, we do. So you start out doing the same thing, of course. You start by hiring troops. So militia, archers, and pikemen. Let's see what we got now. We got some peasants, militia. The peasants and the militia are extremely weak, okay? But again, they're just kind of blocking paths. They're not designed for kind of long-term combat, you know. As soon as you can replace them, you should do that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same as before. I'm gonna start to explore the map. So this one is different from before. When you see some chests like that, it says here that your income increases by 48 in this case, which is good. Where do you see that? If you push V on the keyboard, which is the overview key, you're going to see the commission per week, right? And now it's increased by 48. So you need to increase that number as much as possible because that's your weekly income. And remember that you pay for the army, okay? So there's like an army upkeep you need to pay. Unfortunately, I can't find any way to see how much it is in my case. There's really nothing, yeah. So I can see my income, but I can't see my upkeep. I think the upkeep is only visible in the weekly screen, which I'll show you in a bit. Anyway, for now, let's just explore like last time. Let's start with the castle because that's the easy way to go about here. And again, the battles are the same as before. So remember that I think the line of sight is important. Obviously, later on, like in the Heroes of Might and Magic series, etc., they actually made it much more elaborate, so you can see the damage estimates before you attack, which is so helpful. This would have helped so much in this game, right? But unfortunately, there is no such thing, so you have to kind of guesstimate the number of losses that you take and inflict, okay? Anyway, let's just go there. Let's explore the map a bit further, and let's see what happens. So from time to time, yeah, like just like before, right? There are some random creatures around the map who want to join you. And again, well, if you have space in the army, that's great. Usually these people who join, they don't threaten your leadership capacity, so you don't have to worry about them going out of control in the next battle. So it's usually pretty safe to accept them. So in that case, I'm gonna push yes. In fact, yeah, it's just 10 gnomes, right? So that's okay, that's fine. So also next to me here, compared to the last playthrough we did, right? There is this kind of ring thing on the map, and that's one of the artifacts. So if you walk on it, it's going to say, great, you found this ring, right? What does it do? It actually doesn't increase your ability whatsoever, from what I understand anyway. Now, if you push P on the keyboard, it's going to go into the puzzle mode, right? So this shows you, well, you have to reveal it as much as possible, of course, but this shows you the location of the magical scepter, which, yeah, I was just thinking, is it scepter or scepter? It's scepter, yeah. So you need to beat bad guys and you need to find artifacts, okay? The more you find, the more the map is going to get revealed. But right now, I can see that in the corner there, it's showing me part of the desert. And usually some continents don't even have deserts. So already I can eliminate, I think, the second and the third continent. It's not there, okay? Because they don't, I think, I'm pretty sure they don't have deserts there. But the first and the fourth one have. So that's actually really good, because sometimes it's really kind of hard to figure out where it is. Everything looks the same and you don't know exactly where is what. So in my case here, it's good. Anyway, let's just continue. If I find some more interesting stuff, I will stop, pause, and comment. Okay, so right now I'm back at the main castle. I just cleared up the area, like north. So I'm just gonna recharge my army, okay? Because I think I lost just a few people. Now you can see that in the bar there, I'm gonna get my contract first of all. Okay, and I'm gonna get the boat as well. You can see now that, okay, that guy again appears in the top corner. So this is the first bad guy I have to catch. And then I also got the spell, right? So the cave was in exactly almost the same spot as last time around. So this time I choose to take the spells because, you know, I don't want to come back there later. Let's just get it done with over and now. So yeah. With the chests here again, I just want to comment because I think some people, they prefer to spend on leadership points, and that's fine. I perfectly understand that. The thing is, in this first continent, the income is actually very small usually. So yeah, you can increase it like very incrementally, you know, by 2 points, 4 points, 6 points, but overall, it's not that much. So what I recommend doing is actually in the first continent, you take the money, okay? But in later continents, depending on the amount that is proposed to you, you may want to invest there in leadership points. Yesterday, when I tried to play this thing, I got so many leadership points later on, like in the especially in the third continents and the fourth continents. So yeah, in the first one, probably just take the money. It's the safe way, safe bet. So this one from time to time, right? I mean, every 5 days is actually a week. So yeah, it's not 7 days, it's 5 days here. There is a week, right? So this week of the giants, but that could be any creature actually. This is a random generator from what I understand. So right now it's the week of the giants, and it says all giant dwellings are repopulated. So usually when you find these dwellings on the map, right, you can hire creatures from them, but they're not replenished every week. So there is a finite amount of the creatures you can get from those caves or whatever. But in those weeks, they are replenished, right? But usually, unless you make a map, you're not gonna know like which one is where, right? So yeah, I probably recommend doing some kind of map. For example, you can do it very roughly. In this continent, first continent, let's say southeast, or you can say north of the original castle, there is a cave for orcs, for example, okay? So now you know that every time there is a week of the orcs, that cave is going to be repopulated, so you can go back there and get more orcs. That's why it's a very tedious way, though, really. I know it's because it's primitive. It's from 1990. Of course, it gets better with time, but yeah, this is one way to do that. If you push space, it's going to show you how much income you get and how much you pay for the boat. It's 500, remember, a week. How much you pay for the army, and then your final balance. So right now, actually, I'm in a pretty good spot. I'm barely losing money, and that's what you want to do. Okay, you want to balance your budget, because especially later on, with creatures like dragons, etc., the upkeep just becomes insane. So yeah, you want to keep it. You want to keep your budget as balanced as possible. So here, like I was saying in a previous walkthrough, which failed, this is the desert. I know it looks absolutely terrible. This is probably like, I don't know, the worst way you can make a desert. First of all, why is it not yellow? Why is it this kind of putrid, I don't know, salmon color? I don't understand. And it looks like a smudge, like I don't know, it looks weird. It doesn't look like a desert at all, but it is the desert. If I walk around on it, okay, so each step I take is going to consume a day, which you really don't want to do that because, again, the time is limited, right? You can't waste time walking around the desert. So in this first map, there is one castle in the middle of the desert, and I'm not sure if, let's see. I'm not sure, like, this city, what they are talking about, but yeah, just be aware that there's a castle there. Now, one of the bad guys might be hiding there, but we don't know yet, okay? So just keep a lookout. Yeah, you don't want to walk around in the desert. So the way around the desert, I learned that yesterday when I was watching a walkthrough, is that you need to get flying creatures, okay? These can be like sprites, vampires, dragons. I think even demons are flying creatures. There's more, I think, but yeah. Anyway, so if your army is composed of only flying creatures, and this is important, it has to be only flying creatures. If you push on the O key, the options, right? It shows you that if you push F on the keyboard, it can fly. Now, I can't do that because I don't have any flying units right now, okay? But in theory, yeah, if you push F, it transforms into this, I don't know, a dragon, I think. And then you can fly over the desert. So that's the way you avoid the desert very quickly. But the sacrifice you make here is that, yeah, your entire army will be only flying creatures. And basically, you have to disband everything else. So yeah, just be careful how you use that. Anyway, let's continue. I'm gonna go explore the map some more. If I find some interesting stuff, I'm gonna stop and comment. Okay, so I explored most of the waterways here. I found some bad guys hiding here and there. Right now, I don't want to like do anything, so I'm just gonna come back to the main castle. Now, the way you do that, if you push N on the keyboard, it asks. So yeah, you have to find these scrolls, right, on the map. I haven't found any yet, but there are scrolls on the map which open up the next continent. Right now, I don't have any. So I'm just gonna push 1 and I'm gonna come back to the original castle. Just gonna recharge my troops a little bit. Well, there's nothing to recharge actually. But anyway, the way, first of all, I also got siege weapons, right? So that's done. And I'm looking actually for the first bad guy. So I'm not sure the castles I checked so far, he was not there, but could be anywhere, really. Anyway, the castles are always in the same location, okay? The map never changes. Oh, there he is. Okay. So it asks me, do I want to lay siege? Here it's siege is spelled correctly. I'm gonna push yes, sure. Why delay the inevitable? I always hate that, yeah, the way that your troops start out is really not good, you know? Like, why it puts archers in the front is beyond me. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would it put the weakest unit in the front, you know? And of course, like, the militia are so weak anyway. They just get slaughtered. They're just a bit better than the peasants. The peasants are the worst unit. But yeah, it's not very good programming, I guess. So yeah, let's go for the peasants, I guess, because there's a lot of them. How slow it is to get up there. Okay, so the militia and the gnomes are about same power, more or less. That's kind of annoying. Let's get the peasants anyway. And the wolves in the corner are a trouble. Let's go for the militia here. Yeah, I'm getting my ass handed to me like by the militia up there. Definitely, yeah, I'm gonna win, but the losses sustained are quite significant here. So when you win the battle, make sure that you get the contract, because if you don't get the contract, what happens is, yeah, you get the money for the victory, but you miss out on the contract money, and the bad guy runs away to another castle, which means you have to find him again. And you know, that's going to consume more turns. And remember that time is of the essence. You can't waste turns, okay? So, yeah, if you get the contract, you get the money plus the reward, which is nice. 5,000 is a lot of money, you know. And now you occupy the castle. Now, this screen actually asks you if you want to garrison the castle. Um, sure, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna leave the peasants in there because I don't need them anyway. I don't see the point of doing that though. I don't think it increases the income or anything like that. You can't hire troops from this castle. I don't know. I really doubt it. It is possible that it adds a bit of commission. It is possible, but how much commission? I don't know. If you go into these towns, by the way, if you gather information, right, it's gonna tell you. Okay, now it tells me that it's under my rule, and I have some peasants guarding it. But before the battle, it would have told me the amount of enemies in there. It's always good to get information on the troops occupying the castle so that you know how to prepare yourself, at least mentally, for the battle. I'm gonna get the next contract anyway, right away. So this guy, yeah, I forgot his name already. Actually, let's see again. So hack the rogue. Yeah, I haven't seen them on the map yet, but anyway, let's walk around some more, see if we can find him. So this one, for example, right? So yeah, you find these random treasure chests, and from time to time, you're gonna find a chart, right, to the next continent, which is good. You want that, of course. And I'm gonna show you in a bit how to get there. But I'm still looking for this guy right now. There is a castle. I know there is a castle here in the middle of the desert, which is annoying because I'm spending a lot of turns getting there. But at least I'm getting some money, so that's okay. There's another artifact lying around here, which is good. You know, it helps. Let's see what we got so far, actually. We have 3 pieces, right? And, yeah, you can't really tell looking from here where it is. It looks like, yeah, there's definitely like a forest area and a desert area, which is interesting because I think it's actually close to here, but we'll see how it goes. So when you get back to the boat, now that you found the scroll to teleport, if you push N, it's gonna offer you the second continent as well. But first I need to reload, okay? So I'm just gonna do that very quickly. I'm gonna get some archers, and I lost quite a few pikemen actually. So, okay. Now when you push N again, you can push 2 on the keyboard. And yeah, now you're on the next continent, which is called Forestry, which is obviously a continent full of forests. And yeah, I recommend doing the same thing here. You start on the coast, you get all the treasures you can find. Now, the difference here is that the treasure chests actually have more money in them. And so this is a good point to start building up your leadership points. So let's see if we can find any lying around on the coast, which is probably not many, I would imagine. But there might be a few, like here, for example. Okay, this is an income, but you notice that already. That was 81, by the way, which is a lot. That's good income per turn. For example, here, already you notice a big difference, right? It's way over the 500 we were proposed in Continentia. So here, in that case, I would start going for leadership, okay? So if you push B, it increases the leadership. If you push V on the keyboard, it shows you the status screen, right? And so right now, leadership is 118, which is good. And you need to get it as high as possible so you can hire more creatures. Like I said before, numbers win battles, okay? So you need that. There's another one here, and this one is actually not that much. So you have to kind of go by how much they offer you because each chest is going to be different. If it's not a lot of if it's not a lot of leadership points, then go for the money. If it's the other way around, then go for leadership. Okay, I'm going to explore a little bit more here, and I'll get back when it's something interesting. Well, as you saw previously, I got defeated again. So the rule here is that, of course, the enemies are stronger with each continent that you move forward, right? So you have to be careful. You have to be realistic. Like, can you take some of these armies on? And the answer is probably not yet, not without a promotion. So it's there are kind of many ways to play this, right? I mean, one way is to, like I said, go around the map using the boat, collect all the treasure chests because it's going to increase your income, but it's also going to increase your gold or your leadership, right? You need that. It's very important. And yeah, so I would actually do that because when you return back to the first continent later, you're obviously going to be much stronger. So it's easier then to take on the bad guys. But anyway, here, let's just see what happens. We got some trolls who want to join. And again, I'm stuck into an attack. So be very careful when it happens because it's just going to lock you into an attack and you can't do anything. And right now it's a very, again, a pretty strong unit. I don't know if I can beat that. Probably not. and my trolls are actually out of control, which again is kind of a trick. Be careful because it depends on the leadership you have, right? Mine is very, very low. I thought it would be safe to accept them, but clearly not. So that's a shame. So from time to time here, by the way, you're going to find some scrolls on the ground like that, which reveal the whole map, which is, useful because you sometimes, again, it's all about time management, right? You can't waste too much time. So yeah, this is good. The way it works though is that basically like, okay, if you push M, this shows your current map, but if you push space, it's going to reveal the map. So at least you know what it looks like. It's not very useful, but obviously every map you want to complete as much as possible. Okay, so we found the second bad guy. Let's try to defeat him. As you can see, his army is pretty weak. The only strong unit is like the nomads, but obviously the peasants can cause a lot of damage because they have the numbers usually. But yeah, it's not very impressive here. Anyway, let's just get these guys defeated. So okay. All right, peasants. Again, there's a lot of them. So as you could see though, even like with my leadership already, which is very high by these standards, I could already hire a lot of archers and pikemen. The archers and pikemen are actually decent, especially at the beginning of the game. Uh, Obviously, just going around the continent there, the second one, collecting the chests helped a lot because this is a tremendous advantage. But as you also saw, I pretty much spent my entire money on doing that. So you have to be careful how to adjust that. But again, now I win. There's a big spoil of war. There's a very good contract as well. So right now I basically gained 10k just from doing that, which is very good. I don't need to garrison it. There's no point. Let's see how much income. So despite hiring like all these people, I still have about 2,000 income, okay? Which is great. That's what you want. And so the difference, okay, what is this actually? Oh, this is just a teleporter. Okay, so be careful because some of these caves, they look like dwellings and some of them look like teleporters. They look exactly identical, so you don't know which is which. The difference now is if I go back to the original castle and if I request an audience with the king, he's basically going to promote me to the next rank, right? And now if I want to recruit some soldiers, well, actually the cavalry is now open. The cavalry is very useful, very strong unit. Not sure how many I can actually afford. Probably not that many. Oh, need to do this. 14, let's say. Oh, 14 is okay, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna open up the cavalry and the knights. And the knights, obviously, with the next promotion, you need to catch more bad guys to do that. That's it. The leadership. Try to increase your leadership. You need to find these scrolls to the next continents. Okay, the more bad guys you catch, also in the puzzle screen, it's gonna open up more squares, and eventually, hopefully, you should be able to look at it and figure out where to search, right? The way you search, by the way, is you push S on the keyboard and it's going to take 10 days to search. So again, remember that time is of the essence, okay? You don't have a lot of time. So you have to take that into consideration that you also need days to search, right? Again, I've never been able to actually do that. So I'm gonna try to do that now, but I'm gonna skip a lot of the games. So if I do find it, then I'm just gonna go straight to it, and we'll see what happens, I guess, because I don't know. Like I said, I never did it, so I don't know what happens. Let's do that. I'll come back if I find it. Okay, guys. So actually, here, what happened was, let me just go back here for a sec. Um, so I was playing further, right? And basically, like again, if you look at the puzzle, you can see that there is like desert area, forest. I actually cleared out some more spots, but I forgot to save. So unfortunately, I can't show you the progress, but the puzzle itself does not change. The puzzle is the same. So eventually I was able to guess that the scepter is actually here. So if you push S, it asks you if you want to search and you click yes. And basically you got this animation, which is not a lot, and then it's the end. Congratulations, the paladin, you have recovered the scepter of order, blah blah blah, and your final score is 397. So actually the score is very low. The satisfaction factor is not very high. I mean, the ending itself is not that amazing actually at all. um but yeah, that's it. I beat it. I said before I'd never beat it. Now I know that the objective is really to find the scepter. Once you do that, you beat the game. And that in a nutshell is King's Bounty. So Taco Ops signing off, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. You'll notice that in the video itself there was no audio, and this is because there is very little audio in the game itself. There is only a sound when you walk or row the boat, which sounds like mini farting. And you know, when you find a treasure, there's one tune. When you lose, there's one tune. When you win a battle, there's another tune. That's pretty much it. There is no music to speak of. And of course, you have to look at it not as a modern game, but as something that was revolutionary at the time. Again, this was, you know, in the 1990, okay? So more than 30 years ago now. And of course, it inspired later on series like Might and Magic and the Heroes of Might and Magic, which they had music, which was very good actually in some cases. So yeah, in King's Bounty, there's not even a music for the end of the game. When you find the scepter, the game just ends and boots you out into DOS. So that's it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned for more. Bye bye.